On Longland, this confrontation of counterpunchers. It's Nalbandian doing most of the damage. He was down 3-1 in that first set, won 5 straight games on serve with Davydenko, who just looks puzzled against the Argentine. In the meantime, on the ropes is Mario Ancic as we go back inside Chatrier to Dick and Patrick.
He is indeed. He saved one break point here at 1-all, but here's another for Federer at 30-40. Federer enjoying a 2-set advantage.
I think he wishes there were some ropes out here that he could hang on to, because I think the legs are starting to feel the effects for Mario Ancic. He's been seen by the trainer for getting a little rub of the right shoulder in the second set.
Federer unable to take advantage of those 2 break points. He wants to clean this up, get out of town. He's got a date tonight, the Champions dinner this evening in Paris.
Looks like he receives his award as the top player of last year. And that event, his black tie event, always takes place the second week of Wimbledon. I'm sure Mirka will be dolled up as well. Love her shades. She's always got the big, a couple of different styles of those big sunglasses.
Well, 3 break points saved here in what amounts to all but a match game for Ancic, already down 2 sets, and just get the sense that Federer wants to push him even deeper into the tear bat too, but unable to take advantage yet in this game. And there's a good big serve from Ancic. Well, nice to hear from Kim Clijsters, who's really a delightful young woman and very popular, fans, press, fellow players. And the little country of Belgium knows one thing, that they will have finalists for this title. It'll either be Clijsters or the defending champion in Ardennes on Saturday. Well, Ancic, a tough hold, saving 3 break points. Roger Federer 4-3 with a 2-set lead. They're on serve here in the third set as a good save observed for Ancic there. 3 break points against 50 years ago today. That man was born. Sweden's Bjorn Borg, 6 times the champion here at Roland Garros, 5 in a row at Wimbledon. He won 78, 79, and 80, the double, the most difficult double from the clay to the grass, to show you just how tough that is to accomplish. No one has done it once since. Borg ran it off 3 straight years. Back to the action here at Chatrier.
Good news also is, too, Dick, that Bjorn still has his Wimbledon trophies. There was a brouhaha a couple months ago that he was looking to sell a couple or one of his Wimbledon trophies.
Your brother and Agassi and others has said, come on, you can't do that. I mean, you realize that that would have been a mistake.
Changed his mind, and he says they're in a safe place. That was called long, but quickly overruled by the chair umpire. No argument from Federer. The ball clearly just inside the line there. So a chance for Ancic here early in the third.
Yeah, love 30 opening for him. Had the lead in the last set, but couldn't take advantage of a love 40 to go double break. We had a debate before starting our work today down in the media room, talking about Rafael Nadal and his quickness and defensive ability, and the consensus was no one was as fast laterally as Borg. He could get corner to corner like no one I've seen.
Borg did a long interview, I think it was with a Swedish magazine, Dick, and said he's as happy as can be. He said life starts at 50, he's newly married, a couple of kids living in Sweden. And he says he considers himself, at least in the modern era, one of the 4 greatest players. That in no particular order, he had himself, Laver, Pete Sampras, and this man, Roger Federer. And Bjorn said he believes that Federer will win this tournament one day. Will it be Sunday?
So from love 30, Federer takes it to 2-all with that 2-set advantage. And a reminder, the World Cup starts on Friday. ESPN2 will deliver all the World Cup matches. You'll see Germany and Costa Rica, 11:55 a.m. on Friday, and then at 2:55 it's Poland and Ecuador. All the World Cup action will be on ESPN or ABC. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. The U.S. team will debut on Monday.
Landon Donovan and company getting set. U.S. in a tough group, but a lot of people think they could get out of the round robin version. For the Czech Republic's their first game, right?
That's correct, and of course it will continue for a month, and so by the time we get to Wimbledon, it'll be into the heat of the world competition. That's always fun, especially if the English squad advances, because you can tell how they're doing every night by the screams from the pubs around town.
Easy to get back to London with, there's no traffic when they play. Everyone's in the pubs.
One of the thrills that I had as a fan in '98 when France won, our family happened to have a vacation time. We were down in the south of France, and a very small little village. And when France secured the World Cup championship, and it's hard to imagine this ever happening except in countries that are so homogenous, I suppose, you could hear sounds. You couldn't be any place in the country without hearing horns or church bells or something. And it was just echoing from fireworks and from long distance, the entire country celebrating Le Bleu's success. French Football Federation. Who's going to win it here in 2006? Ancic now at 30-15. He's made Federer work, but when necessary, the world's number one has produced the right shot and apparently on the way to the right result. Again, the winner of this meets either Nalbandian or Davydenko, and they're in the second set. Nalbandian with the first set, and they're on serve 3-2 in the second.
Nalbandian, one of just 4 players to beat Federer last year.
Almost left top spin to bring that on the baseline, but Ancic holds. No breaks here in the third set. Around 5:30 Paris time. Roger Federer with a 2-set lead, and medical attention now for Mario Ancic, who has been indicating that he feels dizzy as being attended here. You see the gestures and the toll of his round of 16 5-setter with Tommy Robredo, where he was ill, regurgitated, cramped up, and this is the first indication that he's having trouble today, Patrick.
Yeah, well, he's looked a little like he's lost some energy the last 20-25 minutes. I believe the doctor has been called to the court. I think that's what they're waiting for now. Here, yeah, that's the tournament doctor coming out. So he will chat with Mario, and hopefully he'll be able to continue.
He's not one to quit.
No, absolutely. This guy is one of the toughest guys out there. So he's feeling he's been struggling for the last about 20-25 minutes, Dick.
You're told that the tear Batu takes on these players is considerable, as coach of Ancic, Frederick Rosengren, looks on. Consultant with the trainer and medical doctor.
And the tour doctor is someone that the players know well. He's on the road with the players throughout most of the year. And Per from Sweden, he also works with the Swedish Davis Cup team, so he's very well acquainted with the players. The doctor is just a doctor on hand here for the French Open. So he's trying to get as much info as he can from Per and from Mario.
And Federer.
Now they just mentioned something to the. They're going to give him some medication, I think is what I overheard Wayne McEwen, one of the supervisors, telling Roger.
Federer with a 2-set advantage. They're on serve here, no breaks in the third, 3-2, and an appreciation of Federer, who won the first set by breaking Ancic in the 4-5 game. And Ancic played some solid tennis, but too often Federer with the winning replies.
Well, great defense from Federer, and the backhand winner up the line, and it's good all-court tennis. Ancic had a chance early in the second to get a second break. He was up 2-love, but Federer really turned it up a couple of notches, and then he started to run away with the match, winning 5 straight games to wrap up the second set.
That shot, that fake drop shot, slasher, hit and run play there by Federer, right through the hole. As we look down on Mario Ancic, and apparently feeling better. We'll continue here. Federer serving 2-3. Look at Chatrier with Susan Longland Stadium off in the distance to the west, where Nalbandian up a set has a 5-2 lead now in the second set. Let's see how much energy is left in the young 22-year-old Ancic. Slices the ace down the middle. His fourth.
Not overpowering with that serve is Federer, but boy, he places it well. He mixes it up. Very tough to read where he's serving. We talked earlier in the match, Dick, about how well he returns serve against some of the biggest servers in the world, particularly at Wimbledon. That ball catches the line. And he also hits a lot more aces at Wimbledon on the grass because of that variety and that disguise he has in the serve.
Ancic didn't expend much energy there as Federer quickly holds at love. Roger goes for a new piece of equipment.
Now ball change here, so Federer will go to the freshly strung racket.
When it was colder weather, he was stringing his rackets down to 48 pounds.
Luxilon gut. He's got a Luxilon is a very popular string now. It's a man-made string that really helps you impart spin on the ball. So he uses half of the string is the Luxilon, and then half is a gut, which is a more livelier string. A lot of the players feel like that gives them the best combination of power and control and spin. It's not just a change in the racket technology over the years, Dick, that has helped the players hit the ball harder and play more aggressively and hit, more shots on the run, but it's also the development of the strings. The players can really accelerate through the ball and get control. Seems like that type of string really grips the ball better.
In that regard, tennis and golf so much alike in the added technology. More power, bigger surface in which to hit, and more control when you hit it. Except on this occasion, and others when Federer puts Ancic in a tough spot. And Federer with a 15-30 lead here at 3-all. Not having much success in delaying the obvious. Federer 2 break points. Take the lead here in the third set. Regardless, a healthy result for Mario Ancic. Federer taking aim at another break point. Well played. So 2 chances for the lead denied.
Oh, yes. Boy, he's really improved that forehand side. Sets himself up and way behind the baseline, able to produce the winner.
Tough to get it through that man's defense. Point here for 4-3. How fast a draw does he have? He'd have been great in the old Wild West, wouldn't he?
Amazing.
As if he knew where the ball would be.
Ancic keeps coming, though. You got to give him a lot of credit. Pretty much knows that there's no way he can come back and win this match. But he still keeps competing, keeps fighting.
He's earning the admiration from his opponent, and I think from all the fans who have enjoyed his play here on the center court, Court Central, Roland Garros. Quarterfinals of this French championship. And Ancic with a tough hold, overcoming some brilliant play by Federer.
I know what the French does to my career. It's my big goal, yes, for the rest of my life, to win the French. People believe I should maybe win the French this time around because I won the last 3 Grand Slams. You know, no matter what surface it is, it's still the last 3, you know, and it would definitely be something very special if I could come through and win the French and sort of create the Roger Slam. That would be something quite incredible.
And that would be something quite incredible. The Roger Slam would mean that he'd be just the third man in history to have all 4 major titles at the same time, joining Budge and Laver, who won it in calendar years.
0-15.
He's serving at 3-4 here in the third set with the 2-set advantage. It's Mario Ancic. They played 2 hours and 8 minutes. Ancic had an opportunity in that second set. 2-love lead with an early break of Federer and had Federer love 40. Federer bailed out of that triple break point. Look at that defensive play, just perfect.
And then he gets to it, Dick, and then he's able to get enough on it. And here's Ancic coming forward. He's 6'5", and he's able to get this over his head as he moves forward. And trust me, there's no luck there. That's all planned.
Couple of points now for 4-all in the third. In case you're just joining us, David Nalbandian, the Argentine, with a 6-3, 6-3 lead on Davydenko. Women's quarterfinals, the 17-year-old Vidasova sends the last American, Venus Williams, home after Williams won the first set in the tiebreak. Watch out for Vidasova. She may be just young enough to not realize what she might be about to accomplish. Svetlana Kuznetsova in the semifinals. Kuznetsova, after down early against Safina, ran off, 12 out of 13 games.
She was 5-1 down in that opening set, and Safina really fell apart.
And Arden, the defending champion, eliminates the young German, Groenfeld, in straights, and she will meet Belgian countrywoman Kim Kleisters, who took care of business against Martina Hingis. After a tough first set, rolled out a 6-1 second set and on to the semis on Thursday. And here it's Federer leading 6-4, 6-3, and 4-all in the third. Federer had been rooting for Hingis, who makes her home in Switzerland, but he was insightful. He said, you have to give her some time. It's, she's achieved a lot. It's incredible what a great year she's had, but realistically, for her to move through all this competition is asking a bit too much.
Yeah, I think her progress has been a lot quicker than I expected. And she's come back this year. I mean, she's right there knocking on the door of the top 10 after just 4 or 5 months. Big win in Rome for Hingis, so you certainly see her be a factor, I think, in the hard courts. I'm not sure how well she'll be able to do at Wimbledon on the grass.
And Venus Williams, a good result. And no one even thought she had a chance, and she flirted with a semifinal spot. Of course, she'll be at Wimbledon to defend her title as Ancic commits his second double fault.
Yeah, certainly Venus has to be pretty happy with the way she played here, and to think of her as one of the favorites at Wimbledon.
Kind of a nice thing the French do. It's as if they sense that maybe a player is losing a little hope or spirit, so they try to pick him up with that rhythmic applause. But it may take more than that, as Ancic now has another 15-40 situation staring at him, and the eyes of Federer looking to take this game and then serve out the match.
Ancic continues to move in and be aggressive when he can. Slides into that volley. He'd like being the ultimate competitor, I think, Dick, when you know that you can't win the match, but you keep giving it on every point.
With the exhaustion and dizziness being a factor as well. And again, a couple of escapes from break points to deuce. No breaks of service in this third set. Seven chances for Federer to break. And here's the eighth.
Avantage Federer.
Another beautifully controlled return here from Federer, making the big man move and stretch and get low.
Now that has been a remarkable image. Federer, every time that his opponent has come to the net, has produced a low return. I mean, just never one that's up there where he could really volley easily. Tony Roach has to be pleased with Federer in that regard.
He's pleased with that. I don't think he's pleased with the break point numbers, though. 3 of 17.
There it is. Federer will serve for the semifinals when we return to Paris. Hot air, courtesy of ESPN's announcers.
That's right, plenty of that.
What a day,
That's our ride, Dick. That's how we're getting back to downtown. That's how we're getting back to that.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Wouldn't that be terrific to be over this great city on this beautiful day? Well, he's not quite that high, Roger Federer, but he's getting closer to his wish of a victory in this elusive French Open Championship for him that'll separate him again from the crowd. And he's got 3 points to go to reach the semifinals.
And apparently a day with David Nalbandian,
who has a 2-set lead against Nikolai Davydenko.
He's pulling out the full arsenal now. A slice backhand short with side spin and underspin.
Watch this one.
Just to give the French fans a few extra style points to appreciate.
And how quickly he has arrived at match point.
40-0. Merci.
And that'll do it.
Match Federer.
Roger Federer
3-0. 6-4, 6-3,
has booked passage into the semifinals of this French Open. 6-4, 6-3, 6-4. And high marks to his young opponent, Mario Ancic. He brought the fight. But a confident #1 in the world produced the proper shots when he needed it most. Kind of, well, another day at work. Just put my briefcase away here and head on down to the Champions Dinner.
It was a good match for Mario Ancic, but really these players that Federer is facing at this stage of his career are sort of steps along the way as he's chasing history. I mean, at this young age with 7 slams, and this is the only one he hasn't won. I mean, that's just the way it is right now. Federer is taking another step, and he become the greatest ever. That's what I think about when I watch him play now.
Could be magical stuff. Could be a Grand Slam year. So rare in this sport. And Federer will meet either Nalbandian and Davydenko. That match continues over at Longland with Nalbandian up a couple of sets, 1-all in the third. Beneteau and Ljubicic, the countryman of Ancic. Looks like Ljubicic has a pretty good shot at a semifinal berth against the favorite Rafael Nadal. But watch out for Novak Djokovic, huh?
He's got some firepower, no doubt about that. And of course, Rafael Nadal, well, he'd look forward to that showdown with Mr. Federer again.
Well, Mario Ancic made it fun for us all for a while. But as we have so often have said, the winner, Roger Federer.